Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
Ever glimpse into this. Mayor Rogers is Six Maniacs. City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation. This is just the news that pops up, I guess, daily. 2 to be shown in pre-run. Okay. Just get the news and go to work. Drives old beat up junky car. Has some trouble starting. That may tell us something about him.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same: play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
So, looks like we're having a little press conference here. So my main question about the game so far is, am I supposed to play into the character that is being developed here, or am I supposed to play it my way, the way I would see best fit, and then the story kind of evolves around my choices? I don't really know. Like I said, I'm kind of going into this game semi-new. I understand how the mechanics somewhat work. I know the style of the game, but I don't really know what I'm getting into other than that. It's just good morning. Yesterday, the news office officially announced your refuge. This comes as a surprise, or did you know that in advance? Okay, so definitely don't want to do this one. I'm not going to cause any drama. This is going to lead to another leading question. I guarantee it. Actually, I don't guarantee it. I have no idea. The mayor discussed it with me. I don't even remember what the truth was. What's the difference? Doesn't matter at all. I suppose. No business is mine. I kind of like that response. I'll dig it. You already know the name of your successor. Let's just say no. No, I don't. Of course not. I don't have the names of this note for this either. Okay. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy, Francis Kendrick, said he was looking forward to resigning. Did I read that right? After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy, Francis Kendrick, said that he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, that changes things. I'd be happy. Because, you know, you want to promote from within, you know what I'm saying? You want to promote officers that have been there, know the people, know the public, know the land. I mean, my goodness, you're driving around the city. I'm thinking too much into this. I'd be happy. It's hard to say, but I can't think of one more deserving candidate. Captain Kendrick. I'm good with that, yeah. We're a former chief. Or captain. That's captain for a captain. Excuse me. No, he's captain. I can get my stuff straight here. We are resigning. He's a captain. He could take my position. That's okay. All that. What is it? Me still. Come on. Do you have anything to say about this? I don't want to say that. No comment. Who's there for answer our questions for this section? Because I don't know anything about this situation at all as a player. mayor could be the reason behind your retirement. What should I know? I don't know. What are you asking? Thank you. Like I said, I'm going in pretty blind.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick.
It's a mystery here. Popping them pills, huh? Naughty habit. Can't be doing that unless they're prescribed for him. Man, gosh, he's like over 60. Yeah, they're probably prescribed for him. What am I thinking? I was thinking it was like a max.
As soon as I
pain
heard the
type
door
situation.
creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
Good point.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man.
I'll do my best.
And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Whoopsie. See anything like that again, I'm gonna be quick on it. I mean, it's pixelated, it's just blocks, but still. If it's anything I'm putting associated with me, we're not gonna show that. Anyway. So what I'm gathering here, I love how the newspaper has stains on it where someone said their coffee or something on it. Anyway. Mayor is a dirty old man. Obviously, we're gonna be replaced with one of his friends. friends, probably someone that works in the mafia. He wants us to sit around and be quiet because apparently in the next 180 days he's got a lot of stuff he's gonna do, so he needs me to sit down, shut up, and keep my mouth shut so he can get it done. I hope there's a lot more exposition to come to see what the past is. I want to know who Captain Kendrick is. I also want to know who his assistant Troy, whatever his name is. Anyway, we'll run into it. So I had to pull the department knowledge. Been doing it in Italy, civil service. Raise this year. Just random stuff. I'm sure it'll increasingly.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
So, learned a little bit about our deputy. I definitely need to see how the game works. Show me what you got. Freeburg PDU organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift. Officers respond to crimes in progress. Investigations. Really move into those shifts. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of a policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of the mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet, even in a pinch. That's good to know. An individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. But how? Please tell me more. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable they work. And a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. That's true. I mean, you can't have that. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day, and restore 1 point after each day of rest. So you rest or gotcha. Employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from you. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason they can think of to take a day off, while others like to drink too much. I don't know guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. I love that. So it's not going to be actually anything popping up, indicators saying, hey, this guy's a drunk, this guy's lazy, or this woman's lazy, and it's just, or woman's a drunk, whatever, you know, whatever the case may be, you actually have to like know that individual. This is getting interesting. Okay, so shift B. Reliable. Not as reliable. Why are you even still working here? 5 stars. Okay, so how many do I select? What am I doing here? I'm not really changing anything at all. Sorry for that. Don't know what I'm getting into. Oh.
Don't you leave me here. Don't you leave me here. If you must go, sweet mama, please leave a dime for beer. Rooster crow and the hen ran around. She said if you want my fricassee, you'll have to run me down.
Sorry about that. Let me do that in just a second. Why am I so bad at this? Volume control. I have to go to my actual settings. I tried to access it through a quick menu, unfortunately. Okay, sorry about all that. I got it figured out. Oops. Wrong button. There we go. Let's get it. quickly drove away. I'm gonna send. How do you say that? Sabaki? Also Sabaki? You're going. And I'm gonna send Officer Austin with you as well. Hopefully. Y'all can get this done. Oh, I love this. I get to watch it ride. The last picture show. They called last picture show theater manager reports that during showing the game, drunk man committed forced his way to the theater carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting theater security guard. Coach, send you for backup. I'm probably gonna learn to do quick that it only send 2 people on the call just because it gives me an option. Everything goes well to police. Capture the criminals and nobody dies. The truth is, sometimes the criminals manage to escape. Just try to avoid being dead or something. Not agree. Everybody safe. Protect and serve. Dead cops will hurt. That's what I'll take it. Under call. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Beautiful. I probably need to be sending really good officers with the ones that aren't so good. Boost. Sound in the suburb. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun. Oh my gosh. Robbed a videotape store. And made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminal fled in a car, but the store manager wrote down the license plate. The owner. Goodness gracious me. Can I not send the SWAT with them? Hold on. I can't send SWAT. How do you send SWAT? I need to send the SWAT! Oh man. I guess. You ain't seen Purdy. I hope they can handle it. Get out there and do your jobs. Fight with Johnson. How do you say that? These names, Johnson and Jurgen. And Katz. Brother and sister clash. Each other over there. Sees father's will according to the lawyers. We don't do. Separate now. Security guards off, dude. Okay. We're gonna send over. I think she can handle it. Honestly, it's in the boat because hopefully we'll get back to the station ASAP. We can't just sit Price on call out to something dangerous. Alright, Coachy's back. Assault in the ghetto. Passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician. Can't have that. Then ran away with his guitar and his money. Can we send the SWAT? Why can't we? It's got to be like a super bad deal. This is stressful. Like, I don't want to send price on that call. Let me just give it a second. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up. But don't waste all of your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on the plate. I agree. The vehicle or person is parked right outside the ground residence. The sound of heard Billy Gordon tell you on the fire alarm shot. Take it to the hospital. No. I don't know. This is so tough. This is so tough. I'm taking this way too serious. I don't want to have anybody hurt. Because if I turn on the siren and turn on the loudspeaker, we're gonna have. I'm just gonna go stand and proceed. I want to get my man shot through the door. It's tough. It's not into the house. No, where can you do that? Medical call all kinds of trouble. But it's not really zero. Yes! Yes! That's how we do. Alright. When we back. I need everybody. Panic decisions. My goodness. Full eye by. I guess we'll go. Yes! Yes! Good work! Good work! Good work! Let's go clean up the city. Oh, this is good. Cleaning up the city. You make your need a couple of and or you can order in comp, come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out. Okay, so order to work tomorrow. Okay, so that means go home. He's really good. Oh my goodness. I told these old guys just to stay at the house. Birds don't need to be out serving any kind of calls. Maybe a peeping Tom. I want. Oh, this is so stressful. He's a really, really good officer, obviously. He's like the one that the whole neighborhood knows, goes to the churches and the schools and talks about how to stay off. He talks about how to identify drugs in your school system and who to contact the responsible adult. That's him. That's Stove Off. He's that guy. I hate to do it. Coach, I'm gonna have to order you to work tomorrow for real. This shift is bad. I mean, one average, above average, above average, above average. I'm gonna do some training with him tomorrow. What's that arrow mean? They upgrade people? We're gonna find out. I think it's what it means.
Used to be, when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
So things are getting a little bit hairy. Our buddy is trying to set us up with the big mom boss. It's into some shady business. Obviously, Jack is into some shady business as well. He said he doesn't go there. I don't really know what there is. Maybe he doesn't deal with people he killed. I don't know what kind of stuff he deals with that's shady in the past. I guess we'll get more exposition on that later. Maybe not, I don't know. But I don't like this Sand figure. Also, if we have a choice to do this playthrough entirely clean, run things how it's supposed to, take care of the officers, I'm gonna do that. It's probably gonna be the route. The road less traveled, perhaps, maybe? There was mention of probably being able to make that kind of money doing it the legit way, catching the big fish, and that's what we're gonna try to do. We're gonna take down the big bads. We'll take down Jesse James. Alright, when a police officer is too tired to be effective, he will ask for a day off. Sometimes officers will request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge in your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Remember that everybody's got secrets, and you've got to make sure that these guys have your back. Time to start remembering some names, which I am terrible at. In addition to their performance ratings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank. Okay, oh, that's okay. That's what okay. So the stars is what I was thinking, isn't it? With 1, 2, or 3 stripes. Once a week, you can pass out stripes and improve the rank of any employee if you think that no one is worthy of the honor. Some week you can postpone the ceremony until later. Insignias won't go out until your people are ready. Employees of rank not only increase in professionalism, but also learn to command. Whenever a ranking officer is on the scene, his or her colleagues are more likely to perform better than usual. Yes! Awesome. Sometimes, because of rank, they start thinking more seriously about their service. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm ranked. I gotta take this serious now. Got people underneath me. This is interesting, gang. This is well thought out. I like this. I mean, most drinking is faster than the job. Some of them might even turn out to be, this is so cool. This is so cool. Ah, this is so cool. You can be like, I'm gonna throw some responsibility on you and see what you got. Promote employee. They're on the B shift, but they're working overtime. I like that it shows me that. Who to promote? He's already a little bit above average. Let's promote him, see what happens. Let's experiment. Let's promote somebody. Instant raise. Let's get Grant. This is nice. This is nice. Start over. Why can't I promote people on these ships? Maybe that's another time. Freeburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say or anything at all. Can pause any song for information. Cool. Hey. Iron Fire Cops. Police station. Personnel. Certain other unpaid jobs. Once you retire, any of them jobs are separated detectives.
You may prefer a blonde or brunette. I'll take tangerine. Now that we've met, I'll get sweet ginger green. Red is for danger, so I'm told. I know just what they mean. Gotta be bold to hold sweet ginger green. She's sweeter than Sue and Georgia Brown. Beats Lulu too. When she's back in town, now she can shimmy like Sister Kate. She's a dancing queen, fit for a king. Swing sweet ginger green. She can shimmy like Sister Kate. She's just a dancing queen, fit for a king. Swing sweet sweet ginger green.
I cannot believe we had to fire that guy. Why did it make us do that? That is such a joke. John's Cathedral. Oh, the abbot. Discovered that someone entered the old cemetery during the night. The old yard's tombstones were painted with satanic symbols. And they have broken it. Man, desecrated tombs. This is messed up, man. Tombstones. I hate that. like that it can show you the entire FPV shift as well. Businessman Harley Jones looking out his window saw two teenagers scratching offensive slogans on his car. The average officer. Yeah. Let's make sure it gets taken care of, huh? Let's see what happens with that. Hopefully that'll work out for us. That old man will just stand back and watch things, and he can be the call out guy, you know what I mean? He can be like, yo, gun or whatever. The police station. Okay, so L3 is just my quick access for this. Eddie's Burgers. Waitress name Mila. Just served chicken. Eddie and a Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal. As you can see on television just this morning. I feel like I'm doing overkill on most of these calls. Vandalism. It's alright. Escaped. Oh, no one's hurt. Vandalism. They escaped. Officers unarmed. It's alright. Frank Nero for fugitive. I figured as much. I figured as much. Oh my goodness, this is just the boy, the bouncers, ducked himself. That's Birch and Birch Jr. Let's go Birch Jr. Hey. getting a little bit difficult.
Whenever I'm alone at home and there's a knock at the door, I always hope it'll be my wife, Laura. She's always forgetting her keys.
Hello, my name is Steve, and you're Jack Boyd, is that right?
To get to my front door, the Bible boys walked about a mile from the local bus stop, jumping over mud puddles and skirting a couple of landfills. Laura doesn't go in for religion either, but according to her, these brave lunatics with their fake smiles deserve at least a minute of attention. She patiently listens to them, asks them questions, regales them with pastries, and never once dropping a hint of condescension. When I watch her do it, I've got to admit it gets me. I'd have hugged those boys, sat with them on the porch and lit up a cigar. But a month after Laura left, all I could do was quietly ask them not to bother me. Today I'm a little rougher still. Shut the door on his nose this time. Another couple weeks at this rate and I'll be greeting anyone who comes close with my service pistol pointed towards the sky, ready to fire my warning shots. In my life, even the basic stuff never goes like it's supposed to. Normally, when a wife is going to leave home, she'll make a scene or at least sit everyone down for a serious conversation. But Laura just disappeared. The children in the stories always stand on the side of mother, but all three of our sons supported me. The in-laws always blame the husband for making their daughter unhappy. But now Sally, Laura's mother, well, we sort of have a pact. The fellow Laura ran off with is young enough to be her son. I hear he's 30 years old. Of all the possible information a man can know about his wife's lover, I get hit with that. Fortunately, Laura's mother doesn't like the way it sounds either. Sally figures this guy just thought he'd have some fun with a mature woman, but he'll be back chasing college girls before the year is out. So we have an agreement. Sally's gonna track down Laura and try to reason with her, and we'll arrange a meeting. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to not do anything stupid, which of course means anything at all. It's a crazy situation. I'm the police chief, and the person I'm trusting to find my wife is an old woman armed with a phone book. But I can't afford to lose Sally as an ally. So for the moment, I had to swallow my pride.
Hello.
Mrs. Markham, this is Boyd.
Oh, is there any news?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you found anything? An address, phone number? Have you spoken to her?
Don't worry, Jack. I've narrowed the range to 2 suspects, or whatever you like to say at your police building.
At my police building, we find people faster than a funny old woman chirping on the phone with my wife's girlfriends.
Oh, you're an old man, Jack. Come to your senses. They'd give us straight odds on the street. But I've got more energy, Jack. Maybe you think I'm a foolish old woman, but I go to my book club, argue with the girls about Byron, and it gives me energy. I talk to my dogs, and it gives me energy. And you have nothing, Jack. You don't even have a hobby. You got no passion. It's why Laura left you.
Let's not go back into that, Sally. Find my wife, and we can discuss my hobbies later. I'm waiting for your call, and my patience is running thin. Laura, if you've stopped loving me, I'll let you go. I can't expect the impossible from you. Just don't let me die out here, okay?
detectives have interviewed witnesses, collected evidence from the scene, and are pursuing the investigation. Expectations. Go by sedan, and they shot like a machine gun and didn't see much. I only heard a few muffled shots. Got what he deserved just because he drove for a long time. Heard a lot of cursing and carrying on. Witness, I don't remember. The car, everything was quiet. I never heard any shots. Got what he deserved. I only heard a few muffled shots. Drove by in a sedan. Shot like a machine gun. Didn't see much. Sounds like they were. Remember the car, everything was quiet. I never heard any shots. At least these days they don't do nothing. I almost died myself. Went to buy some medicine. Get some idiot's car. And they're caught officers unarmed. Perfect. That's what I want to see. Back to the station. I have not fired anybody. Info. Successful assignments, failed assignments. See, I'm not doing that backlog stuff. You'll have to fire all your black employees over the next 2 days due to the mounting racial tensions. Well, guess what? I'm not gonna do it. I don't have to do it. I'm the boss. I'm in charge. And I'm not firing anybody just because these idiots want to cause some trouble out here. The driver's nowhere to be seen. Interview any potential eyewitnesses. Search the car. Wait at a safe distance from the driver's rear. Interview any potential eyewitnesses. Awesome. Got him taken care of. Appreciate that. This is super noise. Corey Ramsey, mother of several children, has expressed her concern about a suspicious man wearing bifocals, seated on a bench beside a playground, watching her children for over an hour to take this over. I don't know how we get rid of this guy. Big quick. So to the bags when it's officers. Hurry up, please hurry up. Oh, we got consent. Already into caching. First Martial Arts Club. First position on the most part match or one. After the fight, teach and choice. Let's see what happens here. Maybe he'll get, I don't know. Best case scenario, he gets a better job. Just quit. The safer there than he would be here. Got him. Got that pervert. Locked him up. Homicide. Detectives present frames, different versions of what might have happened at the crime scene. They get it wrong half the time, but a good cop can separate fact from fiction. They know how to look at that. Know how to look at a case material. More professional detectives working on investigation of evidence. Huh. To get to your suspicion, you need to figure out the true sequence of events at the crime scenes. Think like sometimes. Okay, so basically they just want us to so it is why don't we have any investigation on this racist gang that we need to be shutting down? I want to send some investigations out on them. I'm not firing my police officers. I mean, he comes out. That's not. I'm so confused on how this is actually supposed to work out. So. The train back. So check this out. He's got a broken window here already. The broken window is still there. Wouldn't that be something that would make him come out? Oh, it's muffled shots, so it's a silencer. So I guess what would happen is this. Then he comes up by the boat. If that is gonna rat-a-tat-tat, that's what happens. Wouldn't be my guess. We're gonna close it and see what happens with that. A bartender reports that a couple dancers started fighting over tips, and a cat fight broke out on stage. No, not a cat fight. Get out there, Austin. Shoot, let's go ahead and send out my women to deal with the women fight. That way we don't get any backlash. The Octopus Restaurant, a bartender reported that a fight had broken out between a patron and the bar's bouncer. The man, apparently drunk, climbed onto the stage while local singers performing and tried to sing a duet. Alright. Sending y'all out there. about nailed that guy a couple of times. Too fast for me. Showed me a few tricks after the match. I got carried away a little. Pulled my back. Think I can have a day off. I had to put a spit in my Oh no. It looks like an MMA fight. On the stage are two strippers going at it, and it's gone beyond arguing to a full-on cat fight. The bouncers are fast asleep, clearly too wasted to handle the situation. Drunken patrons are happily watching the fight. Do not draw your service weapon. Listen, girls, cut the crap or it's going to get serious. Shut off the music and turn off the lights. The strippers continue fighting, oblivious to the police presence. Watch strippers go at it, no fear. Step on the stage and try to separate the girls. It's the bartender for a bucket of cold water and throw it on the combatants. It worked! That's awesome. It's a shot! Quit fighting. That's awesome. It worked. That's awesome. Pull him away. Good work there. Good work, team. Alright. Can I just like tell you to take the day off? That would be good. Shift A needs a lot of help. I need to work tomorrow. D12 is better. Be alright, hopefully. Let's see what happens here. I think this is a perfect time to cut it off here. It's been a lot of fun, but this has been extremely long. Yeah, it's almost an hour and a half. So, it's been cool. Anybody that watches this or has watched it, really appreciate you checking out the content. You can check out more at The Buttery Wars Gaming at youtube.com and also The Buttery Wars on Twitch. I've been doing a little bit of streaming of some Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to plan to do a lot more Kingdom Hearts content in the future and probably some more This Is the Police. Thank you all very much for watching. Y'all have a wonderful day.